is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin IT podcast. Jack, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm glad to be back in Xenoblade at this point in time. So having fun with that for sure.
Oh yeah. Andre, what's up?
Oh, that might be
No,
getting
I
everybody.
accidentally hit the switch on the top. I want my gamepad back. I want my
yeah,
gamepad.
yeah,
But
yeah.
the game is still
Yeah.
good. I do want my gamepad back though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that tonight. It was meant to be a Q&A. I know I kind of did it at the last minute. I do apologize for that, but it was because y'all know what's gonna happen next week.
Yep.
So I just want to go and get this out.
That's all everybody gonna be talking
because
about.
that's all everybody's gonna be talking about. So y'all know April 2nd, we're gonna finally be able to do one live because I'm off because I have a doctor's appointment at 11:15. So we'll be able to do this one live because it's at 9:00. So we will be doing that live. So I didn't want to do anything outside that. I wanted to kind of just have a little fun tonight with a Q&A. And we did get one question in the Discord room, and this comes from Puff. And Puff asked, what is the crew's top 5 Switch games?
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, so I have 5 that I can think of right now in no particular order. Tears of the Kingdom, that's in there.
Okay.
I know people didn't like this game, but I did, and that's Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, Dark Order. Y'all know I hated that upgrade system, but I do love the story of the game. I thought they did a good job with that and the expansion. Only thing I would have wanted them to actually have expansion for each of an expansion story that just wasn't just the Fantastic Four. I kind of wanted them to have one for Gambit, them two, and the Midnight Suns, but they didn't. But that's neither here nor there. That one. Astral Chain, because yes, it's Astral Chain. I mean, yes, it's platinum. Why would I not have them in top 5?
It speaks for itself.
Speaks for itself. Bayonetta 3, because yes, and Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread for 2 reasons. One, because Nintendo went full 50 Cent style petty. And 2, it's actually a good game, and I want Raven Beak in the next Smash. Raven Beak is that dude. I wish they wouldn't have killed him. But spoilers for
he'll be in Smash. He'll be in the next Smash.
Spoilers for a 4-year-old game. He dies. But I wish I want him to be in the next Smash. He's one of my favorites. Yeah. So all right, Jack, Andre, which one y'all got?
So number 1, it will be Splatoon 2. 3 didn't connect with me for some reason. But 2 was pretty big for me. My number 2 game will have to be Tropical Freeze. Number 3, I have to give it to Odyssey. Yeah, Odyssey will be my number 3. I'm trying to go through my library in my head. Trying to think another 2. I'm gonna shoot 2 that come to my head right now that were good games. I'm not gonna say they were my top, but they were really good games enough for me to remember them. Wonder was really big for me, and then Breath of the Wild. And the reason why I put Breath of the Wild up there over Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild was the first Zelda game that made me want to play a Zelda game, and I actually completed. That's my very first Zelda game I've ever completed. I've sampled and dabbled into Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker, all of them. I've owned all of them, and then once I get them, I'm like, now I'm bored. I just didn't want to continue playing them. And something with Breath of the Wild, I think it's more in the lines of, hey, get out of this cave. Here you go. Just make it happen. And they're not going to talk me down for the first beginning because it's a tutorial situation. They found a creative way of doing it. And so that's why I'll put that one up there over Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Well, for me, some of them are obvious. Unicorn Overlord sits as my number 1. I don't care if it's on any other platform. It was a Switch game.
Right.
Xenoblade Chronicles X is coming in pretty hot for me on that.
Is that honeymoon? Is that honeymoon phase?
Even though it's lacking its beautiful features for the gamepad, which is probably why it's a much smaller game.
Yeah.
There's that. Then there Mario versus Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle.
Okay.
Solely for the Mario disc.
Oh yeah, the Mario diss track.
For the Mario disc.
The Mario diss track was off the chain, bro.
Then Bayonetta 3 and Bayonetta Origins.
Okay.
Those would be my top 5.
Okay. Now I will say honorable mention for me is the Xenoblade series, Definitive Edition 2 and 3. The reason why I didn't put them in mine is because they would take over all 5 because I'm adding them expansions too. Because like the Torn of the Golden Country, that was better than the base Xenoblade Chronicles 2 game in my opinion because they fixed all the issues I had with the gameplay.
Right.
They did. Like if they would have had that in the base game, it probably would have made the base game a whole lot easier.
Okay.
And Xenoblade Chronicles 3 was just like, man, this story is jacked the hell up. Like, God dang, boy, you talking about cats catch a feeling there, and nobody warned me about damn chapter 5.
Right.
Nobody warned me about chapter 5 in Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Oh yeah, kidding now. But yeah, that series was just good. That's why I didn't add that, but that's my honorable mention. Nightwolf, if they put Emmy in the next Smash Bros., I'm gonna need Subspace Emissary.
I think they could do it if they did another adventure mode, one like Subspace Emissary. Putting them in as mini bosses would be legitimately one of the best uses of them.
Yep. Although I do know Link can handle that, but and Lil Mac
Lil Mac got protection. He got protection.
Lil Mac can have extra motivation.
Yeah, he gonna be running from Samus. Look, she'll be standing on one side, and he like, I'm gonna take my chances against that thing. He'll blow right through one of them.
But yeah, I would love to see Emmy in Smash. But like I said, I would love to see that in like an actual Subspace Emissary style adventure mode. To be fair, but yeah, Raven Beak needs to be in there. Raven Beak and Samurai Samoan Ganondorf with the whole Samoan tattoo because he's in the bloodline. Y'all saw him in Tears.
Hey, listen. Nintendo made him look that way on purpose because they wanted him to be sexy. So they did what they wanted to do with it.
All I know is he got a big Samoan tat. Him and The Rock are cousins. He gonna show up at WrestleMania.
The final boss. No, yeah,
the final boss.
All right.
You're gonna see him and Ganondorf just side by side. So yeah, cousins. But yeah, that would be me. So we've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. Y'all know this. Y'all know we've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles X. So I'm gonna let Jack. I'm gonna let you go first. So, give us your impressions so far. How many hours are you in, by the way?
Oh shit. I might have to grab my Switch for that one. But yeah, after I give my answer, I'll go grab the Switch.
Okay.
And give like a concrete answer. Okay. But right now, I just finished, like right before this podcast, I just finished chapter 5. And I really have been on an affinity mission push, a side mission push. Like that's just been my thing. I'm at level 21 right now. I will say I had Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U. I didn't approach the game this time the way I did with the Wii U. The Wii U, I was literally like, okay, I love Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm just gonna play this. And I think that's one of the main things I've heard a lot of people mention to newcomers of this ain't like the other Xenoblades. Like you cannot approach this the same way. And I wish somebody would have told me that then. So playing it then, my main focus was, oh, they're advertising skills. I want my skill. So therefore I'm going to do everything I need to do to get my skill. And that was the worst thing I could have possibly done. You essentially just blitz through to chapter 6 and get the skill, and then you're like, okay, I'm getting wrecked everywhere I go because I just blitz through. But I'm taking my time with it, trying to understand the combat system, trying to understand like the gear that I have, and understanding that leveling up is solely based around what you unlock. It really doesn't matter per se as far as power is concerned. So it's one of those things to where I'm enjoying it this time around. Not saying that I didn't like it before, but it was daunting because I really thought I was going to get my skill within the first hour of that game. And when I didn't get it, it was a lot of late nights, which to that point too, I've gotten to chapter 6 a lot faster than I did on the Wii U. I don't know if it was just because I'm more knowledgeable about the game or they changed something up, but I got there a lot faster. I remember doing all-nighters for damn near a week and still didn't get to chapter 6 with the Wii U version. And I've been playing the game since its release, and I'm already at chapter 6, even with me doing all the side stuff and getting the probes and everything taken care of. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. Even with me getting ready to go into chapter 6, which I believe that's when you get the skill, or at least get your license to get your license. Get your license. Getting that license, I'm still taking my time. I'm still gonna go and see what affinities I can do now that I'm level 21. I know there's like a level 20 affinity I can do. I know I can't do certain heart to hearts because they require pets where I'm at now. And then I know there was a lot of jobs I took on from the mission control. So I went and got to my 20 max, and which also unlocked the achievement of overload. So I was like, all right, cool. I didn't even know that was an achievement. So I just went and I just stacked them up. And, the cool thing about that is as you're going, you run into those blue exclamation marks. So you can easily just kind of complete them there. Or if you've already done a whole bunch of stuff leading up to it, as soon as you accept it, it's like, oh yeah, complete. You're done. You're good. So, but I'm really enjoying it. The only downside, if I have to nitpick something, is that damn follow ball. That follow ball is ran by Apple Maps. It just takes you around and about. Like I can literally be standing in front of my destination, and that thing will go backwards, go up the hill, come down the mountain. And I'm like, dude, it's right here. Like that shit works my nerves because I really be trusting it. And I feel like Michael Scott on The Office, like when his GPS told him like to go into the water. Like, but Michael, there's water right here. I'm like, but the GPS said to go in the water. Like,
to be fair, Tassie warned you that it don't work that well.
Right. you use it to get in about to where you going.
Oh yeah, it's definitely exact. An estimation. It ain't exact. It's an estimation for sure.
The math on that thing is horrible.
And I think that's by design too, because it specifically tries to lure you into areas where you're going to run into combat or to see something else of interest to throw you off track so you explore.
Or you're going to run into that big gorilla that's going to be staring at you from the mountaintops.
Which it seems like there's a lot more of those in this game.
Cousin out there.
Like I've run into so many of them big monsters. I'm like, what is going on? Like I was running away from like this level. It was like a level 27 when at the time I think I was like level 17. And literally, he's 27, and I jump up into an area. I didn't even see him. Turn around, and I was like, oh, he didn't even recognize me. I'm just gonna keep on moving. So, and as soon as I get past them, the level 51 one comes over. I said, dude, you got it. And you can't run fast enough.
Just take it out. Just go to down.
Yeah, that's why the 27 one worried about you. He's like, look, my cousin right there.
He got you. Don't worry. He just got out of jail. I'm straight. So I mean, but yeah, this has been fun. I mean, I've been able to pick that up, whether it was handheld, playing it in the bed, or putting it up on my TV. It's been amazing. But then there is one more thing, and I don't know if this has happened to anybody else. There's just certain points. I don't know if it's when I do my fast travel or if I'm going into a new area where there's kind of a lot of monsters, my camera goes like super smooth after a while. Like it's I wouldn't say it's delayed, but it's overcompensating in a way. And then it'll fix itself like in 2 or 3 seconds and then it gets tight again. But it seems floaty after a while and then it goes back.
That happened one time when I went to Oblivia, but it was during a sandstorm where the electric storm happens.
Yeah.
And it happened, and I was like, what the world? And then it fixed itself, and it was like, okay, am I tripping? Because at first I thought I was tripping, because the problem with Oblivia is they do a good job doing the sandstorm, so you don't know if it's like you really can't see, or is it something?
That's how I felt too. I was like, what the hell? Like, why can't I see? Say it was fogged out. And then luckily the storm was just ending because it took me what felt like 2 hours to swim across the damn water. And, and that was when I was like, no more affinity missions. We're going to get this scale because if I have to do this one more time to swim across a body of water.
It's a San Andreas moment. Oh, that's a whole new area. Let me swim into there. Then the police show up.
Right. But no, I'm enjoying it, man. I can't complain.
All right. Jerry, what about you, man?
I mean, I like it so far. It's weird playing it with only one screen, though, because I have the urge to look down at my gamepad that's just sitting there.
I've been looking to the side so much. I've been like, God damn it.
But it's not only that. It's not only that. I like that they gave you that thing to pan the camera up and look around.
Yeah.
But it's live action.
Yeah.
When you do it. So if you got something barreling down on you,
Grex,
you have no escape.
The Hunter Grex. Them things getting on my damn
zombie
nerves.
Yep.
I use it to try to figure out, like, okay, I'm around this corner. I know there's a tyrant over there. I'm going to use the camera. Nope. Get hit from the back while I'm.
My gosh, man. You got to clear your area out. You got to clear your area out first.
Yeah. I did that. I had something chasing me from somewhere.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it locked onto me from a distance and came barreling through and took out my whole crew in one swipe. I'm like,
listen, I know that ain't who I think that is. Let me go ahead and finish real quick.
I think what I forgot while we're on it real quick, I'll let you get back to it. But I forgot about the layers of the sub menus, and the entire time the game is still active. So you'll still be running around and you thinking the game is still going. You still got to exit out of all those menus. Or none of your buttons work. So that was I forgot about that one real quick. So yeah, I died a lot pre-level 10 playing around. I had to get back used to that because I haven't played in so long.
Right.
So
you think you pause and you just in a menu.
Yeah. That hurt me for a good while. I want to say first couple hours for sure.
Yeah, that and me keep always looking to the side because I got so used to looking to the side of my gamepad. Right. Like, damn.
It's so easy to just look at it, tap on the menu, tap your screen, bring up the map. It was so quick. You just do it in 2 seconds.
Yeah. So, all right. So, Shadow, what are your first impressions so far as Xenoblade Chronicles X?
I love it. I could tell that they increased the resolution on a lot of textures specifically for the cutscenes. So all that stuff looks pretty cool. The sound is somewhat better. Other than that, like, it's all gameplay. Using Y for quick cooldown that's game changer to me. Like I've never. To me, it was an earned bill of rights to get to chapter 4 on Wii U. Like you had to go and just grind it out. And a lot of times that wasn't fun because you're running through and trying to and if you can't get anybody in your party that you recruit online that's strong enough or whatever, you're just kind of like struggling right after episode 3 or whatever. So now you got to go out in the world and go fight around with 3 people in your party or 4 people in your party that are as low level as you. And you can't really swing a bat in anything that's above level 20 or what have you. So
if you're lucky,
yeah, like so you're getting wrecked. You got a team full of 4 people and you're getting wrecked by somebody who's level 13, and it's not even a tyrant. It just has like a certain level of resistances or whatever. It may be like a special version of that species, and you'll get wrecked if you don't pay attention. So that hurt on the Wii U version. On here it's way better because I pay attention more to secondary cooldowns and tertiary cooldowns now before overdrive, which is I never really cared in the first game unless I had overdrive, but now it's critical and it's more beneficial because you can do the quick cooldown to jump straight to it any moment in time as long as you have the same weapon equipped. Or in some cases, I'm able to switch regardless of what weapon I had. I think at one point I was listening to somebody's tutorial that said you can only do it depending on what weapon you had. When I switched class to Full Metal Jaguar, it seems to not matter. I don't know if I have that right or wrong or not, but I know a couple of times I'm attacking with dual swords, and the art for my guns would show up, and I could just hit Y and jump straight to it, and switch weapons for me and everything. So I don't know. I don't know I don't know if that's the arts thing or that's something they changed from the base game or not. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but what I understand, you had to switch before you could do those kind of things. And now with the cooldown or whatever, I feel like the flow of combat is way better. And I actually like fighting everything now, regardless of whether it's higher level or it might be a tyrant or whatever. Like, hey man, I got 2 people in my party. I still got a chance, I think.
No, you don't.
I mean, even if I don't, it was close. Like I would lose, and I still had him down to like a little bit of his health or whatever. So I feel a lot more accomplished.
No, you don't.
Fighting on the ground. I've never had this much fun on the ground before. Until I had overdrive. So, but now you can actually do some stuff without it. So, and that's kind of interesting to me. But I will definitely. Of course, everything's going to change once I complete chapter 5. And once I do that, then I'm pretty sure I'll be having a whole lot of fun, and I'll probably be level 60 before I even get my scale the way things are going. Because once I get overdrive, I'm going to pimp it out. I'm just going to go everywhere and kill everything.
I mean, once you know, if you already know, you know. So I mean, that's why I'm like, that's why I'm taking my time and leveling up, because I'm like, once I get to 5 and 6 and I get that scale license, it's on the popping, partner. I'm gonna have so many augments ready to go. But for me personally, so I'll get the bad out of the way. 1, I miss my gamepad. That's a bad. 2, while I don't mind the fixes they made to the art style, sometimes it looks kind of weird on some characters.
Certain characters, yeah.
Especially when you could tell they didn't finish doing all of the changes, so it's kind of jarring.
Yeah, it is. I will say that they did a number of improvements that I think worked. And it kind of reminds me of the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, because some of them they just pulled straight over. Like giving you how to do your combos. They tell you which ones to use. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
While the follow ball does suck, they did do a better job of like letting the line stay with you. Because on the Wii U version, that line left. You had to run with it. Now, I will say this, and RJ did say something in the comments. Yes, it does feel slower paced, because that I ain't never seen the run animation look that slow or feel that slow.
Right.
Running in that game, when you do a full burst run, it's slow as hell. So I don't know if they did that to let indigents catch up with you. If you did, that's wrong.
They rubber band heavy, bro.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I do like the fact that they kept some of the familiar stuff familiar. Like, I know where some tyrants are. I know when they pop up. I know to avoid that area until I'm ready for them. Because there's one right outside Oblivia. If it's raining, that's a level 60, and pardon my French, that's your ass.
Yeah, you know what?
He's just gonna pop out the ground and start killing.
Yeah,
he just come up. If you're around him, die.
Yeah.
So it's literally on site. The other thing that I do like is that they do give you the color-coded levels. So basically, if something's in yellow, you can fight it. Even if it is above your level, you can fight it. If it's in red, you can, but you might want to get it by
wouldn't
yourself.
do it.
You gotta want to get it by yourself.
That's your own discretion.
I've beaten a couple of indigents that was in the red, but I got them by themselves.
Yeah, that's the key.
The problem with the red and purple, they don't never be by themselves. They want to stay in a pack, because the first time they call somebody over, you dead.
You're done.
But if you can get them by themselves, you probably got a shot. If you I'd say if you 6 or 7 levels under them, and you got your stuff upgraded, you have a shot. And you got 4 people. You can't do it with 3. You got to have 4. Because you try to do it with 3, Lynn's gonna die first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not even in my always party. Go down first too.
Yeah. And she's supposed to be the tank.
Yeah, I'm about to say in my party,
which is crazy. I have that skill maxed out already. The invincible shield, I have that maxed out already. But then So, and I've heard this on other videos before, but I cannot stress it enough. Defense means nothing in this game. It's all about resistances. You get 999 defense and you'll still get one shot. So it's all about
if it's a tyrant. Especially if it's a tyrant. That tyrant can be level 9. It don't matter if it got a crown over its head and they got that little weird thing.
Yeah, the little stuff on the side. Yeah.
Defense don't work. Find out what it got and just buff yourself accordingly.
Man, I mean, it's fun walking around just minding your own business, and then you hear the intro to uncontrollable play. It's just all right. Yeah. You don't have a scale yet. It's all right. You ain't got overdrive. It's all right.
I think the one of the things that I love and hate about Xenoblade Chronicles X was they give you a false sense of security because that first tyrant you fight is like level 5.
Yeah, he's real weak.
That mug, son, that ain't no tyrant. He just big.
Yep.
The first real tyrant you run into, the first real one because the first one I ran into was the big giant pig board thing, Megaton Hell Express.
Yep.
Oh, he murks everybody because once he charges,
that's it.
That's your bar.
You got to stack physical resistance, and I think thermal, if I'm not mistaken. And then
thermal
cakewalk.
Yeah, thermal works, but you do need to have physical resistance, and you need to have auto attack damage up. That takes him, and now he's just a level 11.
Yeah.
But so I think that first time it gives people a false sense of security because I'm like, bro,
that's what it's supposed to do. So you be stupid enough to go run at the next one.
Yeah.
So they can tell you what they are. They can say, "We told you they're tyrants."
Yeah,
right.
And there's one Affinity mission because I was doing it yesterday, doing the playthrough, and I'm like, why do I keep dying? But I kept forgetting I didn't have my physical resistance buff up, and that's like the Nomad one, the big Plant Eater one that normally you don't have to worry about fighting.
Yeah.
5 times.
Jeez.
Like, okay, this wasn't this hard. No, I was being stupid because I forgot to upgrade my stuff. I always remember if I could give a piece of advice to new players before you go out and do anything for the day, make sure you go back to Armory Alley and make sure you get your buffs and your upgrades right before you walk out that gate.
Yeah.
Just don't forget like me. Don't be like me and forget you because I be like, okay, I got to do this, and this. I want to get to this level. Cool. I can just go and do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure you upgrade your stuff first.
Well, I think a lot of new players will kind of be like me because even though I'm not a new player, I kind of put myself in that new player category because I didn't go as deep. Going into those shops is like, what the hell do I purchase? Because I'm so accustomed to like those RPGs to where it's kind of stupid to buy stuff up front. Like, because a lot of stuff you'll either unlock or you'll find stuff a lot stronger than what's in the store. But when I look at what's available, especially when they have the different manufacturers that you can unlock, and I was like, Jesus, like, well, it can be overwhelming.
It can be a little bit, but like me, I like to go in and look for like what I'm looking for that character. So like, for instance, like with Lynn, I'm trying to look for stuff that's defensive based for her.
Yeah. Okay.
Because for some reason she a tank and she always getting dealt with.
It don't make any sense that you made her a tank, but then y'all give her the thinnest armor ever.
Yeah, I know.
A little 13-year-old girl is your tank. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
She does have a reflex skill, so you could stack reflex stuff on her too. But you're going to eventually come across a tyrant that has anti-reflect, and then yep. Your whole party's going to be gone most of the time anyway when you're fighting those. So if it over, that's all you can do.
Yeah, and for like Elma, I use Elma. She's my primary attacker. Okay. So I just go for stuff like that. Hi, Vicky.
Hey,
and myself, I'm just a mix. I'm just a mix of stuff.
Melee and range.
Yeah, because right now I'm doing Samurai. Once I finish out Samurai Gunner, I'm going to go in to do the Galactic Fencer because I like that healing balance that he got. That way, because right now some of the stuff I have to run from, and I'm tired of running from them Grexes, them upper level Grexes. I want to fight them because they getting on my damn
they're annoying
nerves.
as hell.
They bullies. They bullies. They some damn bullies.
They make you fight them. Yeah.
They some because number one, they roll in packs, and then it's always that one level 30 behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting up here, I'm whooping all y'all. I'm wrecking shop. And then
You doing
wham,
what?
the hey.
Talk big shit, don't you?
Why is Lynn dead? Oh, he's level 39.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
because I plan to go to Duelist after my Mastermind because I'm rank 7 on Mastermind, and I'm gonna go to Duelist next. But yeah, Mastermind I'm loving because of the Brain Jack that I got before.
Yeah,
and when it worked, it worked.
Well, yeah, it worked. You got somebody in the squad to do that. Yeah,
yeah.
Because I'm thinking I may put that on Lynn. No, I may put that on because there's somebody in the there's one of the characters that have it. Shadow, is that Murderous or is that the other girl?
It's the other girl.
For which one?
For the Brain Jack.
Brain Jack that has Mastermind.
What's her name? Like Irina.
Probably Arena.
Yeah.
And then what's her name ends up having it too. The L. I think he can do it too.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So yeah, that's what I'm gonna make sure that gets done. And then because I will say this, I am just because I've played it and beat it before, I am much more aware of stuff that I need to do for it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, okay, that's why I'm taking my time. I'm not trying to rush through this because I know, because kind of like when I first played the game, I did try to get my scale quick, and I did. And I was happy with myself. I felt accomplished, but I had a light scale at first. And if anybody knows about the light scale, the first scale you get, don't get the light, get the medium one, because that light scale ain't durable for shit.
Yep.
No.
That thing, if not even a tyrant, if a Sanicular just looks at you wrong, it's gonna break.
Yeah.
So get the medium or the heavy, because that way at least that thing is durable. It can take a few hits.
Right.
But I think the way this game is going, because from what I have read, the reason why there's not a separate thing is because for this one, they actually interwoven the expansion stuff in it.
Yeah.
So unlike with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, yes, Torna to Go to Country is separate, but you can actually play that either before the game or in Chapter 7.
Right.
Because that's where it fits. Future Redeemed, you kind of could play that. Well, you probably need to play that right after, but they made, little comments and stuff to it. Like, I forgot, it was right before the end, right before the last chapter of the game. So, but this one, they actually know it's interwoven into the game. So that's why we don't, and I think that's why a lot of, because it felt like it was going fast in the opening. The intro
it
felt way faster than it was on the Wii U. And the only reason I know that because I've been playing the Wii U version. I'm like, this didn't happen this fast.
Mm-hmm.
To get you into the game, but I think that's because they're moving stuff. They move stuff around in the story a little bit.
Okay.
I think
I thought it was just me because it's moved progressively faster.
No,
it definitely did.
It's moving faster, but I think that's because we're gonna get to the new stuff.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I do miss the Miiverse because the Miiverse would make this so much easier.
Actually, and the Miiverse made it funny too because you find people's posts up while you playing.
Yeah. Yeah. So I do like the cutscenes. I do like what we're seeing. From the improvements they made, it's just that one main thing, and I knew that was going to be a problem when I played it. I missed my gamepad.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a tough blow. It really is.
So all this having to hit pause. That's why
I'm just like, hey, Monolith, can't y'all just make an app? Look, I got a tablet. I can throw the app on and just leave the tablet. It could do the same thing. Mm-hmm. Just make me an app for the tablet.
Essentially what Microsoft did. Yeah, same thing.
Well, the way I get around it is like, even when I go do all my Frontier Nav stuff, I don't make no changes until I get back to the barracks. That's what I do. Right. That's what I change the probes and all that stuff because I don't do it out in the. Because number one, I'm gonna get killed. Number two,
I know that there's gonna be a compilation very soon of all the deaths that have happened with people trying to mess with Frontier Nav while out in the open.
Yeah, and since you have to pause. Which we told people that was gonna happen. Like y'all
Mhm.
don't want to not use the gamepad. Y'all gonna want that gamepad
because you could with the gamepad you could be running and you just tap on the screen real quick, make your changes, and still be moving.
Yep.
Instead, now you gotta go to menu and all the other kind of stuff.
You
Go to
gotta
map
find a
and then
safe
look.
spot to hide.
Yeah. Oh, that looks like a nice cave I can go into. Why is everything in here level 50?
Exactly. with the eye.
Yeah, with the on site. It's like they all turned around and looked at you at the same time.
Jazzy's right. They should have made a shortcut to map jump straight to Frontier now instead of because instead you got to browse the menu and I mean they made a shortcut for the ball. So like, what? I mean,
they really did.
Well, to be fair, the shortcut for the ball was on the Wii U version too. So
because they got like 2 functions for run though.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you could have done that with like you could have done
that's R and A, right? R and B.
Yeah.
Which is strange. I guess that's a toggle lock running. Like if you wanted to, I didn't use that until post game. Like to make videos and stuff to like turn off the HUD and then so it looks like you're running that kind of stuff. I never really used it for anything in a game. I don't need auto run for anything.
Now I will say I wish there was a better way to remap your controls. This ZR jump is kind of I'm still trying to get used to it. But then also too being in these fights using the D-pad to navigate your arts. And I'm like, okay, couldn't that just been ZR and ZL to navigate through this? But I understand they got a lot of stuff mapped to these different buttons. So even if you did go to the Switch settings to do the mapping of controls, because I think Player Essence did it, OJ did that, but it put jump on he put jump on D-pad. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that.
You don't want it on D-pad.
Yeah, I just had to go back to muscle memory of how it was on Wii U, and once I did that, I was okay. But then, unfortunately, that also has you thinking you should look to your left or your right and look for the game. It's one of those things where I'm like, I want to unlock the thing, and I'm like, so now I'm to the point where I'm on what is this mission 4, what have you. And I've only unlocked less than 1% of the entire map because I'm not motivated to at this point because number one, it's not sitting there all the time, and then when I go to the map, I'm like, I don't want to just sit here and do this. So I'd rather just go kill stuff and then go from there. And if I see it on the map, if I see it while I'm out or whatever, I'll go ahead and hold A to unlock it. But otherwise, what am I doing?
Yeah, that's it's one of those situations where I'm like, yeah, people were begging for this, but I'm like,
you lost a lot of stuff.
I'm glad people are, if they are new, I'm glad they're playing it, and I hope they're enjoying it. But you have no idea what you missed out on because of whatever reason why you didn't get the Wii U. I'm not gonna say it's because you listen to other people. I'm just gonna say, but because you didn't get it, whatever reason, you missed out on a lot of stuff because this game cut out a lot of features that made it. That made the game to me better.
This is what I'm upset about, right? You got things like these laying around, right? NSO app.
Yep.
Yeah. Full on app.
You have
just put it in there.
What do we?
Just put it in there, man.
Yes.
Yep. Second screen for Xenoblade Chronicles X within the NSO app.
I mean, and they could have. The worst thing is they could have done that for both Splatoon games too.
Yep. I mean, there's so much stuff they could have used. Like, you have a full app. Yeah, as a matter of fact, they got 2 apps because they got the parent app and they got the NSO app. Yeah,
but for the NSO app, that would have been like for each game that would have made use of a second screen, having the NSO app have some sort of special access to it would have been great.
Yep,
the voice chat.
Yeah,
all that could have been a thing, but I don't know. Is this?
I'm just highly upset.
But so many people are happy, and I get it too. Yeah, this is a swan song. This is the last thing that Monolith need to do for the Switch or what have you. Is great because technically it shouldn't even be possible in the thermal envelope if you think about it. As far as
well, the other reason when Takahashi said like back in 2018, people kept begging him like, dude,
it would just have
time. We don't have the time to waste. He basically like, we don't have time to waste doing that. You should have got it on the Wii U. That's basically what he was saying. We don't have time to waste doing that because they were working on 2 and 3. People didn't know that though, but that's what they were working on. They're like, bro, we trying to.
But
get
once they had
out.
300 people, Nintendo was like, all right, we gave you the staff, you got the money, do that damn thing.
We gave you the staff, we gave you the money.
We let y'all do whatever y'all wanted to do, and y'all and we still don't know about the other game. The
still don't.
That Middle Ages game or whatever. We still don't know about that. So.
I get the feeling that's going to be. That's definitely for the next platform.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Because at this point, I'm like, because Nintendo fully owns Monolith now.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they fully own them. So
they finally made the commitment.
Yeah, so I mean,
I'm tied it down.
I mean, if they already know their system, in and out, and everything they put on there works.
Yeah,
like to perfection. So even people that be complaining about it, because I remember when Mighty Keith was complaining about Xenoblade Chronicles 3, talking about it looked so good on PS5, I think he said. I'm like, bro, there's a difference between art style and graphics, dude.
Yeah, because they would have done the same art style regardless of the platform.
It's like you're talking about the same people making it. That what you said don't make sense.
Yeah. Now, if you told me like, hey, if such and such other development company would have made it, then yeah, the art style would have been different. But yeah, because it puts me in the mind frame of like the Street Fighter cross Tekken and Tekken cross Street Fighter. They were different looking games, but they were made by different people. So yeah, that's what
different art styles.
And the second one didn't come out
at all. Because I remember that was the one I was looking forward to.
That was the one everybody was looking forward to. Because when Street Fighter Cross Tech came out, that was,
yeah.
Man, I kind of wish they go back to that because I think the next thing that could probably be better for gaming in general is crossovers.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to make sure you do it creatively, and that the crossover makes sense. And you're not just doing it off the strength of both of these are popular, so let's just put them together, even though they don't make sense.
Yeah, like for instance, like I would love to see Animal Crossing and Nopon game because them Nopons are hilarious, dude. I love Nopons. Them dudes are
I just want a slice of life Nopon game.
Man, dude, like the way they talk, how shady they are, how shiesty they are. I'm like, bro, y'all some of the most shiesty, shady, sometimes perverted creators I've ever seen, man.
Like, the craziest thing about them is they could potentially be the most powerful race of everything in the franchise now because they are able to literally be everywhere.
Yeah.
So
I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles 2 had Nopons talking about stuff that happened in Xenoblade Chronicles X. You're like, wait, what? And
they won't explain it.
No, they just say it.
They say it to mess with you.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, dude, like I would love to see Tom Nook try Nopon. That would be hilarious.
I kind of think that they would become friends.
Afterwards.
Like, man, I respect your viewpoint, man. Now, how about we go out there and make this money?
Yeah,
right.
Dark Boy, I was thinking more along the lines of Metroid Star Fox that we were supposed to get on GameCube allegedly,
and then Wii U again.
Yeah, so Star Fox and Metroid, but yeah, I mean like that's what I was thinking when it comes to like stuff like crossovers because I'm like at this point graphics done ran its course in my opinion, and The Last of Us getting 55 remasters per system. I guess at some point you can't keep saying, "Oh, this is a more HDer than the last version."
Yeah,
so
HDer.
The HDer systems.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, I don't. And then they release them again on that. So you're like, bruh. So I'm like, at some point you got to think outside the box a little bit. And I'm like, okay, so why don't y'all take a page out of the movies since everybody want to be movies anyway? Just do some crossovers.
But Jay, this time the remake is in 4K, and by 4K I mean it's upscaled to 4K. The internal resolution is like 1400p or something like that. But I need you to believe me. We're doing the thing.
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the PS5 Pro version of Last of Us 1. So yeah.
Hey,
oh, you mean the version of it that's not going to be using PSSR, but is going to be using
FSR or some other weird custom variant.
FSR. It's not going to be using PSSR because apparently Sony gave up on that.
Yeah.
So
no, it's going to use the Luminous engine.
Okay. I'd rather use
it'll
PSSR.
look pretty, but it'll look pretty, but it'll be buggy. At this point, Luminous engine might as well just be used for making movies.
Pretty much.
Just use it for making movies.
I mean, Sony still has Sony Pictures. I just want to use it for that. So Shadow, question for you: how do you love the real-time ray tracing due to the effects of the water?
Xenoblade Chronicles X, best water ever.
I mean, it looked like you had the Bahamas.
Yeah,
where you can see through to the bottom. I'm like, I kind of got scared when I was, because there's a nav point up under the ridge where you first go into the west gate, the east gate of the city or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I'm swimming and I'm like, what if a tyrant's down there?
It probably is.
That would be painful if they did that.
But this game got me scared. The tyrants will pop out of anywhere, dude.
Yeah, like you just don't know, because I think I've run through a few spots to where they just jump out the ground. I'm like, yo, where did you come from?
Oh no, you ain't got to worry about them just jumping out the ground. They'll fall out the sky too.
Yeah,
I done had a few spiders just drop on my head. I'm like, why are you here?
Like, I'm not even looking for you.
Like, what is you, Spider-Man or something? Right. There ain't nothing here.
You was up there chilling. I just ran through. I didn't touch you.
Like, was you sleeping on clouds? Like,
yeah. I had what two spiders drop down on me, and then the damn monkey comes right behind them. So I get jumped by like 5.
Oh, you got jump.
And then the birds with the horns. I was like, so now they call it. Then the monkey jumped in. I was like, I can't stand y'all.
But they call it reinforcements in waves.
I was like, we hadn't even started the fight yet, and you already asking for y'all wow.
Them birds in Noctilum, they get on my damn nerves. I'm like, bro, you be like, okay, it's only one of y'all. I'm just gonna walk past you. I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to bother you.
I don't know you. Like,
I'm trying to get to this piece of debris so I can finish this affinity mission. That mugger called 3 spiders, 2 simians, and a doggone squid. I'm like, bro.
And Noctilum, they straight throwing up sets. They throwing up sets.
Oh yeah,
for sure,
100%.
Yo, just that Noctilum love right here.
Exactly. Oh, you thought it was just me?
Oh man.
You know what street you on? Like what? Yeah.
we out here one time for the Noctilum crew. Like, what the hell?
Man came here. He came here wearing red, giant red,
right?
Monado. What you doing?
Well, you know we all black over here. Now wait till nighttime so we put these highlighters up.
The real gang is that mountain full of the I can't remember the name of those cats. But they just sitting there waiting for you to make a move. They just waiting for you to get up there. They just at every turn on that thing, like they all at the edges, just waiting for you to show up.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, bring your dumb ass up here. Yeah.
Like, hey, y'all see that one? Like, keep an eye on him. Like, watch him.
Yeah. Hey, he stepped foot up here. Y'all know it's good.
Y'all know what to do.
Right? Like, bro, what the?
Like, I refuse to go up there. I'm just not going to do it. Like, nah.
Until I get a scale and I can blast them from.
I come up there when I got a robot to stomp on all of y'all.
Yeah.
So, as an alibi question, how do y'all feel about the discourse finally being brought up that we've been talking about years ago? Because now that people know what Xenoblade Chronicles X is now because they pretended it didn't exist because it was a Wii U game.
Yeah,
they see all of this stuff that happened
again too. Like
he got bullied into it.
Yeah, he got bullied into it this time. Yeah, but
they got bullied in there. Like, wait, so we can have these games this big with mechs and
I'm like
giant space and no load times? We can do this, and I'm like,
didn't they see that on Breath of the Wild?
And they're like, what the PS5 got 16 gigs around? Like, Wii U got one for games.
Right.
Two max, one for games.
If you, it goes back to that thing where if you know your system, know your engine, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Like the problem is, like you always say, Shadow, they don't code. They don't code to the metal. They do a drag and drop, which means you got a lot of bloat in there as far as programming is concerned. And nobody's cleaning it up. So your game look pretty.
Got a lot of useless code.
Look, 9th generation consoles, 7th generation engines.
Yeah. So
that's
I'm like,
effectively it.
And then my personal favorite. Oh, this game can only run because it's Unreal Engine 5. From Unreal Engine 3 above has been scalable. Stop saying that. Don't mean nothing.
Well,
the whole point of UE4 and UE5 is that they're scalable. That was the entire point.
And 3 was scalable as well. That's how you got to have these games on mobile.
Yep.
3 was scalable. So I'm like, everything from 3 up has been scalable. So that just comes down to, okay, we don't want to make it for this platform.
Yeah.
It'd be simple to say that.
Or Sony paid us to not make
that they can't say because that's NDA. They can't say that.
My bad. Did I say that out loud?
I wonder how many Nintendo builds there are of third-party games just sitting around. They were waiting for the publisher to green light.
You will be surprised. I
want me a Soul Calibur game with Ganondorf and Link and Zelda in it, and I ain't got it yet.
Thanks, Tony.
Now, to kind of go into both Shadow's question and also Dark Void's, they can kind of tie into each other. So even when you look at Xeno and then also look at Nintendo, they kind of have the same reputation right now. Like Xeno gets just completely ignored and Nintendo gets ignored in this competition conversation. And I did a video and I just forgot to even export and post it yesterday, but I did a video, but essentially it was centered around, ironically enough, IGN. They just did their last video before the presentation, kind of giving their, I guess you could say their expectations of what the price and performance and all the other stuff. And one of the key things that I pointed out in a video that kind of rubbed me the wrong way with what they were saying, they said that the price couldn't be higher than 400 because the PlayStation's at 500. And then they also said that performance wise, we can feel confident that the Nintendo Switch 2 can do third-party games because Steam Deck did it. And so that's where I was like, you put yourself in this category again because you're looking at apples to oranges and setting barometers for things that don't match. Like just because Sony put something at 500 doesn't mean Nintendo can't. Now, I prefer for them not to because it's easy for my pocket. But if I go to you and I say, all right, both this laptop and this desktop have similar specs, that laptop's going to cost more because of form factor. It's the same thing here. Is you have to take into account that we had to shrink a lot of this stuff to where you can put that big ass 4090 in your desktop. I can't put that in a laptop. So them doing those type of comparisons and then also not even mentioning in their articles of Nintendo, it's like, oh, the console war is over between Sony and Microsoft. Is like you're just purposely excluding them. And it's almost at this point now to where you only bring up articles or do videos because you know your fan base is looking for it. But if it was up to you, you wouldn't care. You wouldn't even mention them at all.
And I'll just say this. When PS4 was the fastest selling console, there were multiple articles regurgitated, not just IGN, but all across the web where they copied and pasted the same article talking about this amazing feat, right? No such article exists for Nintendo Switch.
No.
And even when they do, they admit, say, hey, Switch has sold 100 million or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They don't say, hey, look, this is the fastest console to ever do this. They say, oh, well, also PS5 made so much in revenue or whatever. And I'm like, why even make that the part of the title when the thing that hasn't been done before is the thing that should be the lead? If you say, hey, look, this console sold 100 million units, and it's no console has done it in this 4 years or whatever. The fastest time has been what have you, right? That should be the article. There should be nothing else. Why are you trying to add like what Sony did as far as revenue, which isn't even something that's exceptional, right? Because you're talking about revenue and stuff like that, so whatever. Like we all know that. For all intents and purposes, if you sell a $500 console, right, you're going to have the most revenue anyway. So that it just doesn't make any sense to even lump that in there. And as soon as it becomes like clear in a way that, hey, you know what, this console is doing things that other consoles have not done in a retail space like ever, right? Just don't print at all because there's nothing. If you say that, there's no secondary thing you can attach to it to start talking about Sony and Microsoft.
There you go.
Nope.
And that's what's crazy to me.
There is there is a secondary thing you can add to that that's become more apparent to people, and that's that Sony and Microsoft are trying to push towards doing hybrids and get into the handheld home console space themselves by being inspired by what Nintendo achieved.
They don't want to do that,
but they don't want to say
Steam
it
Deck
that
instead.
Yeah,
Steam Deck has barely sold 5 million.
exactly.
I think what was it 4 the last count? I think
I'm gonna be generous and say 5 because we don't know how many may have sold after that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely not lighting up the charts like everybody said as it was. I'm like,
no, people used to get mad if you didn't love that.
If you didn't love it,
if you said anything about the battery, you said anything about like what the reported stuff was. If you showed them what Mortal Kombat 1 looked like on there, people would get mad at you. Like, why are you talking about that? Like, bro, it's if you don't have a problem talking about crappy ports on Switch, why you got a problem with somebody bringing it up on Ally and Steam?
Yeah,
like.
I remember these same press articles or whatever. They were complaining about battery life on base Switch, right? And we're talking, we get anywhere between 90 to 2 hours, and that's not enough time. When Steam Deck came out, that was not a thing.
Yeah, it was not a thing.
Like, bro, you might get 30 minutes depending on the game.
Remember the I can't play anything that's not 60 frames a second. So when they got that Steam Deck, 40 seconds is 40 frames a second. It's a sweet spot. Why don't more developers target 40 frames a second?
Yep.
I thought you said you couldn't see nothing. You can't play nothing that's not
below
60 frames a second.
Throw up.
Because that makes your eyes hurt. Remember,
I'm okay with that. If at the bottom of the article it says sponsored by Valve, I'm okay with that.
But I mean, me and Andre got into a discussion with somebody on Twitter because of that. Because dude kept saying, "Yeah, well, I can't play anything that's under." Well, no, he said under 120 frames a second. And we asked him, did he go to the movies? He said, "Yeah, he loved." What game? What movie you saw? Oh, he went to go see Sonic 3. And I'm like, you know that movie's at 24 frames a second, right?
Yeah.
If you really do have a problem with your eyes, you need to go to the optometrist and get your eyes checked. But to say that, I have to have it this way because I can't because of my eyes, dude, you're lying.
I mean, they more than likely lied about being able to play games at that frame rate anyway.
Yeah.
Because they probably couldn't. It's not about that monitor.
Yeah.
What you see on screen as far as frames per second goes, anyway, is all the frame of reference. That's why you're able to watch videos at a lower frame rate anyway. Dude, what they should complain about the most should be input response. And all the games that had frame rates in the teens and in the early 90s or whatever, they had serial connections going straight to the system, so you never had input delay. Now, I mean, you have intentional input delay in games like Mortal Kombat or whatever, but it became a staple that people got used to. You press high punch, and it's going to take about another millisecond or so, and then high punch shows up on the screen. But that became a thing where people were used to that.
It was baked in for that.
Yeah, and then other games like, you play Ocarina of Time or whatever, like get ready for the slideshow. But guess what? This is going to be a fun slideshow because wherever you move or whatever button you press, it instantly reacts, even in that slow frame rate. So the greatest it's not playable
game of forever. Yeah, but that's why
Ocarina of Time was playable.
Yeah, that's why I just like does the gameplay smooth because Xenoblade Chronicles is in 30. Yeah, and people, of course, somebody found out that they have a 60 frames a second. I'm like, dude, that don't matter. It doesn't matter
so much when that article popped up. I was like, damn, like it was like it wasn't gonna have any of that around it. Like I said, there were only maybe I've had only seen maybe one or two people were talking about like how theirs was running bad, and somebody was like, "Hey, restart your Switch because you probably had it on for a long time." And they restarted, and it was like, "Yep, it's fine." So that was no fault of the game. That was you. But it's I don't know, man. And that's where I feel like April 2nd and beyond is going to be fantastic for most of us, but the complaint fest is going to show up. And
it's going to show up immediately.
Like it's going to come in droves.
Because a lot of these third-party games aren't 60 frames a second. They're not 60 frames a second native. Again, that's why one of the reasons why I don't like Digital Foundry, because they made, just like IGN, they've made people think that this is a standard. That ain't no standard.
It's not the standard.
The standard is whatever they got it as stable as. So if it's stable in 30, and I love when people say, "Oh, I can see it with my eyes." No, you can't, because every last one of y'all thought that doggone Near Automata when it was on PS4 and Xbox One X was doggone 60 frames a second. You couldn't find out it wasn't.
Yep,
it's 30.
It was 30.
Oh yeah, that
900
was definitely.
It's 60 on the doggone Switch.
Yep.
But you thought it was 60 back then. It
Yep.
wasn't. So people always say, "Oh yeah, I can tell." Just see if you compare here to here, you can tell. No, you can't.
The majority of people can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Yep. So I mean, at this point, because even like what because Sandstrom was saying, he thought it was at 60. Because I mean, it runs smooth. It's not.
It runs smooth.
Oh yeah, it's definitely smooth, but no, it's
even
not
in
60.
fights and even with all those monsters, it never slows down. So they did a great job. And then for this to be a smaller game than the Wii U version, like they did a great job. But yeah, well, it's just gonna get weird from here because, like I said, even with IGN in that video that they posted, they were like, "Oh, Assassin's Creed Shadows got a Steam Deck version or got like Steam Deck verified, so yeah, we can expect to see it on the Switch too." Like that's not how
that's not how that works.
Now,
how that works.
To just to play devil's advocate and to their credit, it's not because it's going to Steam Deck that it would be a possibility. It's because they're changing the way the game is coded. They're changing the format that is coded in, which will be similar to the coding format for what the Switch 2 will be. That's why the possibility is there. That's why you don't see a bunch of games that are already on Steam now available for Steam Deck, and it takes time to change over the game's coding to fit that format. You can't just take it from this game was coded so it could run on an x86 architecture machine, and you're just going to throw it on Steam Deck and it's going to work. It's just not going to work that way.
No.
You have to code it for the hardware that it's going to go to, which is why it takes so long for games to be verified for Steam Deck. If they're too big and then you have to convert the code, it's going to take forever. That's why you can't just pick up one and just play everything off your library on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think what people forget too is that, much to my chagrin, games aren't written to the metal for Steam Deck. There's no direct SDK for it. There's you write games for Steam, right? And you just go down the checklist to see if things are available for Steam Deck. There are specific drivers you can tune to and whatnot to make your game more available, but there's no project from scratch that you can build for Steam Deck. There is no bespoke binary you could build for Steam Deck. There are bespoke binaries that you can build for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2.
Right.
So that's specifically how that works. That bypasses all the OS shit. That bypasses all the Proton conversion BS. None of that stuff is necessary because you're writing directly to the metal for that platform, or for the hypervisor for that platform, because none of these consoles do bare metal anymore. They translate. But yeah, that advantage is not there for Steam Deck. So directly comparing the two is kind of a fool's errand anyway. So just because something is proved, it has verified for Steam Deck, doesn't automatically mean that it's going to be greenlit for Switch, because a publisher has to, first of all, greenlight the project and say, hey, look, you guys can go and publish for this. And then they have to pay to publish on Nintendo Switch. So that stuff to me, like the fact that we're saying this and they're not, is what's bewildering to me, because I don't think I've ever heard any IGN podcast or anything talk about the certification process specifically for Nintendo platforms and how they get stuff done, and that you have to build a game and it is not a button that you press to port a game to Nintendo hardware.
Yep.
I don't think that's ever been a thing. And Digital Foundry they're definitely not going to say it. So,
but that's why you have to be careful where you get your who you get your news from, period.
Yeah, exactly.
And like IGN, like I said, IGN's been doing this since like 2008.
They really have. Yeah.
And look, why y'all think I do not be playing when I say I will never do anything? Like if Greg Miller, Colin Moriarty, or Damien Hatfield want to talk to me, I'm not talking to them.
It's pointless.
No, because they are part of the problem. Jeff Keighley is actually part of the problem. Yes, he's behind the Game Awards. Good for him. He's part of the problem.
Yeah,
because of the stuff that he has allowed to happen. If you're gonna be for the gaming industry as a whole, that means you need to be at the very least be unbiased in your reporting and how you report things.
there
That's
you go.
one of the main reasons why Iwata just said, you know what, y'all want me to be the bad guy. I'll be the bad guy. I'm gonna make sure all y'all stuff is done. We're gonna do it ourselves, and I'm gonna have a smile on my face the entire time I'm doing it.
I think the most offensive thing was that IGN had the gall to say, "Hey, why don't you come on IGN Live, Nintendo, and unveil your console with us?"
Yeah,
like what? So
Like,
that's
who the hell are you? Basically,
exactly.
right.
Yeah, who the hell are you? So, and the funny thing about it is, as soon as Nintendo starts doing directs, Sony's like, "Oh, we can save how much money?" Microsoft like, "Wait a minute, we got our own theater. I don't need y'all."
Yeah, I feel like they would have been fools even trying to rent out space anyway. Like, I'm next door. Like,
Yeah, I'm literally next door.
But
the funny thing about it, for the first couple of years, they didn't. They
didn't.
They went to the LA convention center. I'm like, "Yo, Microsoft Theater right there."
Yeah.
But guess what happened?
So crazy about
they
that?
started doing that.
What's so crazy about that is you have $1 trillion companies following what Nintendo is doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So when Apple is like, we'll just build our own theater and we'll just invite the press to come and we'll have our own thing and we'll talk directly to them because obviously it worked for another partner that we sat with and and then so Microsoft copies that or whatever and they're like, hey, come to the Microsoft whatever, we have this thing and we'll do the whatever.
The theater.
So they have their own theater now and you go there and then they're like, well, so why should we go to these events? There's almost no point kind of thing. Like there used to be a thing where South by Southwest and Macworld and all these other events or whatever, like all these vendors would go to, and now they're like, but we don't have to. We can just release a video.
Yep.
We can do it on our own channel. We can do it. We have a studio in our building. We can do it right here. And once again, this probably wouldn't have happened had IGN and game trailers and places like that not intentionally try to screw Nintendo over.
Yep.
So
because the second they did it, Iwata was like, all right. That's when I was like, because I ain't gonna lie, dude. Going from Yamamushi to Iwata was kind of like, okay, Yamamushi kind of a hard ass and Iwata nice. Like, why would he choose him? Then I read Ask
Iwata. You
see
the behind the scenes.
Yeah, he was savage.
Yeah, then I read Ask Iwata. I'm like, oh, he a cutthroat. Like, he nice, but you piss him off. You pissed off the wrong one.
You ain't going. Just put it this way: you ain't going to know when he got mad at you. You just going to know he mad.
He's
exactly.
And he's also kind of bold too because he's not afraid of a private lawsuit. So apparently, he was the guy that convinced Takahashi to say, "Hey, look, instead of Minato, change the name to Zeno, like because we want to honor your work." And that's it was Iwata that came up with that idea.
Wow.
So he convinced them to change the name to Zeno. So
it worked.
It worked. Yeah. It continued the legacy, and Square Enix wanted the characters in the games. So
Iwata's like, we got ninjas. We'll send them to court.
Right.
And on top of that, they got Super Mario RPG back. So I mean,
and Namco Bandai needs us anyway.
Yeah, they do. Bad. So question though. So now we saw what the Switch was capable of doing and what came from that. We got a lot of handhelds that came behind that. Going into Switch 2, and we definitely see the push for AI and upscaling within everything going forward. I mean, I think I even saw there's like a AI chip out there now, like an AI 9 chip that's going into like the new MSI Claw Plus, and you can get it within the A and Neo devices. Do you think with this, what seems like a huge resurgence with RPG, with Expedition 33 and then now Xeno, like we're going to see like a huge RPG push?
I don't think it's going to be huge, but I think you'll see more. It's going to be huge once it starts showing the numbers looking like.
Okay.
Right now, everybody's still FPS.
Right.
Because they're trying to get that quick money.
Yeah.
So but the more people start having variety in their gaming taste, it'll start spreading out like it's supposed to. Right now, the only reason why gaming is like this is because you got suits in charge. You don't have people that actually built and made games in charge. You actually have suits in charge. Suits don't care about nothing but their money.
Correct.
They don't care nothing but anything but the numbers. And right now, if you got EA and Activision bragging about how much they're making in microtransactions and how much Call of Duty made, guess what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Oh, we want that money too.
Yeah.
We want that money.
You can probably go to any major publisher and talk to their budget manager and ask them what their favorite game is for said publisher, and they'll give you dinner here. Like, look, for sure, that like legit is not their job. They're like, look, I came from Wall Street.
Yeah, and I don't care.
Yeah, my first briefing came from NBA. Like,
I don't deal with you riff-raffs. I don't deal with you riff-raffs. I'm just here to make money.
That's why it was always funny.
One time 20 years ago,
right?
That's why it was always funny hearing Michael Pachter talk, because I'm like, bro, okay, look, I'm not in the weeds like you're supposed to be, but you can't tell that Microsoft and Sony's losing money. Like, you can't tell that, but you still saying that they is who you should go with. Like, bro,
there's something there.
Make it make sense, man. So
there's something there because I
was getting paid behind the scenes.
And I think that's something that you brought up
the
today.
Xbox gaming division making. And when I ask that question, I mean outside of Game Pass subscriptions.
Yeah.
Right.
How much profit are they making? Does the revenue cover the development budget?
I don't think it does.
It don't.
I don't think it does.
And I'm bold enough to ask the same question about Sony.
That's why they go. That's why they went so hard into Game Pass. Now, don't get me wrong, because Game Pass, no matter what you may believe, if you actually have time, Game Pass is a good subscription service. Like, if I had it, and I'm like, dude, I use it as a rental service.
Mm-hmm.
Because basically everybody was throwing their stuff on there, and I could try the game out. If I wanted to buy it, I could buy it at a discounted price. So I was like, but because I got a new position at work, my time has been cut down. So
same thing for me. I turned it off.
I got to cut it off because it doesn't profit me to have it. But for the people that got it, I'm like, dude, I can't knock them for having it, because that's actually what I want in a rental service. Like, if you had a rental service like that, I would love that. For gaming, since nobody hardly want to do demos until 2 days before the game come out, like, or after the game come out, I'm like, bruh, you want me to pay for? Okay.
On a separate note, I made that huge mistake. I was waiting for Xenoblade Chronicles to finish downloading, and I downloaded the Donkey Kong Country Returns demo. Damn, that game feels good. I made a huge mistake. I said, "Oh, I'm not triple dipping." I did the Wii and the 3DS, and then it's so smooth. I was like, shit.
You got curious.
I got too curious because I forgot they did the demo, because I had been hearing Game Explain complain about it, and all they were complaining about really was, oh, the fur looks different, and the water looks different, and the sun looks different, but the game is amazing. So I'm like, and then they was like, oh, they fixed all the issues we complained about on the demo. I'm like, okay. But I just left it alone because I was like, I'm not triple dipping. And then Xenoblade was taking a minute to download. And I was like, well, let me just get the demo. And I turned it on. I was like, damn, like this is smooth. Like, I was just playing the 3DS version. I was like, it's okay. But that game is flawless, sir. Like, oh boy, that game is flawless. And it's now gone into that category of Donkey Kong games to where even now, if I throw on DK 1, 2, or 3, I know secrets within like the first couple of levels. Like, it's almost memory. I don't even know where I got those secrets from, because it's not like I could have gone to the internet to get them. So it was like, I just know all the secrets, and that's that type of game. I know where the puzzle pieces are. I know where the Kong letters are, but it's just, damn, that felt good. I said, I just get it to 40, and you got me. You suck me in. You suck me in.
I mean, look, if you what's that say? Woot. If you watch Woot long enough, it'll be on there for $40.
And that's I've never purchased from there either. But everybody was like, "Hey, go to Woot." Yeah, so I might, man, I might. But this is holding me over for right now. I'm holding tried and true to Xenoblade. But I'm definitely looking forward to this presentation and also the nonsense that's coming behind it. Yeah. But I definitely thought for sure that I felt like for sure we were going to get like a different tide in gaming. So because the simple fact that these third-party companies need money. So they're gonna show up. But and for you to show up to Nintendo's platform, you got to show up and show out in certain fields. Like like if you're a shooter, you have no competition. But if you're a platformer, you got to show up and show out. Like, like you got to.
Kind of. It would depend because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Splatoon.
True.
And while it's not Doom,
yeah,
it still occupies time while being the same.
It does.
And sharing the same audience too. So, it's not realistic, but you'll still jump into it because you still want to play in that competitive whatever edge. So
that's
one of those things.
And that's another thing I would tell third parties is if you did sign some kind of deal with Sony and Microsoft to where you got to keep your game off of Nintendo and now you don't have that, don't bring a game from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Just don't even port it. Just focus on something new and hit it when it comes out. Like, don't do that and expect people to buy it because why would I buy something I already got? And when I played it on the other system, it wasn't that great either.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would I do that? Why would I double dip that again? No, like, dude, put it out on time. Can I
make another disclaimer too?
What's up?
Capcom continue the Monster Hunter Rise franchise. Don't even attempt to port World or
Wild.
We're good.
Don't even do that. Yeah,
we're good.
Make a sequel to freaking Rise.
To Rise, yep.
Yeah, just make a sequel to Rise. Or because Monster Hunter Storage is good too. Actually, like Monster Hunter Storage.
Do your third game for that.
Yeah. Because I love doing them anime crazy solo leveling Demon Hunter, Demon Slayer cutscenes they got in that game. When you doing them, dude, that does be peak for talking about finishes.
TVODs just asked the question, and I think
Garble ports.
Unfortunately, I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
That's going to happen simply because, and I will say this: it probably is going to depend on who the third party publisher is and who they decide to get deported. But like, I'll do the obvious one, NetherRealm, because the whole MK1 situation. That thing looked horrendous on Steam Deck as well, but nobody made any comments about that. But yeah, we're gonna probably still get them, but unless they actually respect and give the port team time to actually do a proper port. So that we're probably still gonna get them for some third parties, but I think like people like Bandai Namco, they're not gonna do that.
No,
I don't think they're gonna do that. If Capcom does, because I did hear a rumor that Capcom's bringing Street Fighter 6 to Switch 2. I don't know if that's true or not, but if they do, I don't see Capcom doing it. But I do see, like, I can see Activision and EA doing garbage ports and Warner Brothers doing garbage ports. I can see them doing it.
Yeah,
but
100%.
That's because they trying to cut corners. I know Warner Brothers trying to cut corners. Hell, they just got rid of their whole Looney Tunes. I know they trying to cut corners. So I have never seen one CEO try to get fired as bad as David Zaslav. I'm like, I have never seen.
Look, he trying to get out. He trying to get out with that severance package.
Yeah, he trying. He like, y'all ain't fired me yet. Fine, Looney Tunes, go.
I just thought about something, and it's now become really apparent to me because of what Capcom's doing with their major Resident Evil games and porting them to mobile. They're trying to get themselves used to using a risk coding base, which would be porting the RE engine to a risk-based set of hardware. That's what they're trying to do. Well, and I'm thinking about it because they've been doing that repeatedly over the last few years, taking all this stuff that uses big code. Not big code, but
big Indian
complex
code,
code.
Little Indian.
Yeah, complex to reduced. So that's what they've been. Now it makes more sense to me why they've been doing that. So they've been trying to get themselves prepared for it because they're not used to it.
Well, it's funny because they're going backwards because that's what Wii U was. So they got to go back to doing a smaller little Indian code.
Technically, for Nintendo, that's how they've been ever since the 64. So I'm like, they've been on the same path. Everybody else been changing up.
Well, the other thing too is like RE engine. You know, it already works. So
that doesn't mean that they're good at using it that way, though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying but you have experience making something that and you know it can work.
Oh yeah.
So That's why I never understood.
But they gotta train in newbies though.
Yeah, that's why I never understood when Street Fighter 6 didn't come to Switch, because I'm like, it's in the RE engine. We have proof that your RE engine works.
Yep.
I mean, but to that same effect, you got cloud versions of Resident Evil 2 and 3.
Yeah,
like I said, I don't understand why they did that. That's why
I don't know why they did that.
That's why like Square Enix talking about, oh, we'll do the Kingdom Hearts collection if people really want it.
Okay.
All right,
you got it.
That's the same thing. That's like MMOs keeping their same mentality of license checks. If you did a Steam Deck version, right? What's the point of that? Like the whole point of having Steam Deck is in some points and cases, you're going to be without internet. Like, you should be able to log on, continue doing what you're doing solo, and then sync back up to the server when you get a connection, right? Like
that's the whole point.
Yeah, like doing the cloud on the game, that's just bonkers to me. There's zero reason to do that on a portable platform.
No reason.
If it disconnects from the TV, don't do it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Dark Void, to answer your question, certain games I've noticed doesn't show up, but certain ones I do notice do show up. So I guess it just depends.
I think with their major releases, they're avoiding it because when people pre-order off Amazon, they send them out early.
Yeah. And that's how
street date.
Yeah, because that's how like Spain, a couple of people in Spain and Italy, they be showing stuff, and you're like, the game ain't out yet, and then you're like, oh, that's where they got it from.
Right.
So, because people do break street date a lot on Amazon, because some of them don't care.
They don't care.
Yeah. So, and then on top of it, you got to think, like, if you do get it day and date, sometimes, and I've had this happen with a couple of mine from Amazon, where I get that dreaded email. There's been a delay due to either Delta or a train or whatever, and you stuck 2 days. So that's why some people like either try to go to the store, or if they can't go to the store, they just go on the digital download. Some people double dip. Like I've double dipped a couple times.
Yeah,
because I had to do that with Tears of the Kingdom. My Tears of the Kingdom game,
go to Best Buy.
Yeah, my Tears of the Kingdom game didn't come in on time because it got delayed. And so I was like, I am not waiting. So I just went on. I had like 100. I had like 100 gold coins. Hey, I went on and downloaded it. So yes, I've double dipped just because like my physical didn't come on time. So
what is y'all favorite brick and mortar anyway for first party Nintendo titles anyway? Because I know a lot of the third party stuff gets cheap later, so that'll change things.
Yeah.
So like day one first party.
I still go GameStop.
Yeah, to be honest, it's out of GameStop and Walmart to me, because like Walmart will put that stuff down. Like, they'll do that little whole $59.99, but then they'll put right up under like 54, so like that. So Walmart and GameStop, depending on what it is, like, because there's a GameStop right around the corner from me. So
for me, it's either going to be Walmart or Best Buy. I don't typically go to GameStop anymore.
Yeah, I guess I'm bougie because I only go to GameStop if I'm going to go look for a deal, or if they have something like an exclusive or something. Yeah. But typically it's gonna be Target or Best Buy, and then Target has been having some issues lately, so maybe they will or will not get my support depending on what's going on. But lately it's been Best Buy or Amazon after the fact. And I've been noticing that Amazon will honor some deals depending on what's going on. They'll just magically change the price if you see somewhere else that another retailer has a sale. Yeah, they'll just price match. It'll just be there. You put in the cart, you're like, oh, okay, I'll take it, and then go from there, and you get the free shipping or whatever. But typically I will only use Amazon for third party stuff because they go on sale a lot there, and Best Buy has a lot of third party stuff on sale too, but the stock is really limited. They don't get too much stuff on the shelf.
They don't get much, no.
So not for third party stuff. Like you got to go get that ASAP. But typically I've been getting them from Amazon. It's been pretty good.
I never thought about going to Target. Like I think I've only gotten 1 or 2 games from Best Buy, and that was in the Switch era, where there was just a certain game just wasn't at GameStop for whatever reason. So I just went around the corner to Best Buy and got it. But as far as Walmart, the reason why I don't get from Walmart is because that they never have anybody back there in the electronics section ever.
Yeah. But they be walking all over the store. They be
all over the store and will walk past you and not say nothing, like won't make eye contact. I was like, for real?
Sometimes they'll look right dead at you and keep walking.
You standing there looking at the game, they walk right by you.
Right, because
I ain't trying to work.
Like the other day, I went to go get what was it? It was a Google Nest from Walmart. 2 ladies in the aisle. I was like, "Hey, can I get this?" She was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have the key, but I'll go up front to the guy that has the key." So she gets him, but he's checking somebody out. She come back and she says, "Hey, he'll get with you in a minute." So I'm all right, cool. I'm standing there and I'm standing where I'm visible. He checks the first person out, then he checks out a second person and a third person, and then he's clear. And I see him like logging off the computer. I was like, "Hey, like I need the key over here." Like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I was like, "No, that's why I don't deal with Walmart." Like, I know Walmart kills spirits, but don't make my day bad because you don't want to work here. I didn't make you work at Walmart.
Yeah, it does. I had to remind the lady, they did not know that Xenoblade Chronicles X had the pre-order wallpaper or whatever thing.
Right.
And I had to find out after the fact that, hey, they're just going to ship it to you later. So I'll get it early this week sometime or whatever. But yeah, I had to tell them that and then go back into the stores. They tell them, hey, if anybody else asks about this is when it's coming. So, and they're like, oh yeah, okay. I don't really do RPGs or Switch games. So, okay. I'm like, all right. Yeah, and she just told the girl next to her, I guess if another Switch person comes in, tell them that. So
yeah, I think I've only had one bad experience at GameStop, and I went to go get, what was that game? It was a game I was looking for in particular, and it's on all platforms. And the guy bluntly was like, "Oh, that doesn't have a Switch version." I was like, "Yes, it does." And he was like, "I don't think so." So he looks it up. He's like, "Oh yeah, we do have it." I was like, "I know, because 1, I know the game, and 2, I looked in your inventory." I said, "So of course it's there." I was like, "I'm not stupid." I was like, "You might fool some of these people that are just some randos." I was like, "But I know my shit. I just need you to check for me,
just
sir.
Do your job.
Just do your job. Yep. If you don't want to work, that's fine."
Yeah. All right, peeps. We're gonna have to call it a night here. Your boy got to work 10 hours tomorrow, so
yeah. You hurt my feelings with that one.
I hurt my own feelings. Jack, anything you want to pimp out?
Yeah, the video that I forgot to export Friday will be posted up tomorrow. And then also I still have to do my Xbox video. I feel like I'm like one of the only people speaking positive about Xbox right now, except for the standard people and you. I mean, like there's standard people that always speak highly of Xbox, but I genuinely want to speak on what I think this next handheld is going to be, just based off of what things look like, who they chose to go with Asus, in that market space. There are a lot of players, but not a lot of presence within that PC handheld space, and I don't know who's going to be the first to crack it. As much as people want to cape for Steam Deck did not break it. They did not. The Legion Go S has an opportunity because they do have this Steam Deck version, but I think that's what's going to shoot them in the foot because they have too many variants. So imagine you say I want a Legion Go S and you don't know they have a Windows version and a Steam version. It might that could rub people the wrong way. But all in all, I just want to kind of speak on that space because I've been in it for a minute, and then also to make a video about some of these retro handhelds that I've been dabbling in for this past year, and then some that are set to come up, especially one in particular from 1X Sugar. They're doing this crazy like modular 2-screen device that looks wild. Like it looks crazy. It does a whole bunch of flipping and twisting, and I'm afraid
it just screams mod for 3DS and DS games basically.
And that's essentially what they're shooting for. And where I feel like Nintendo may have a patent on this because a lot of retro companies don't do it. Like Retroid is coming out with their Flip 2. It's already for pre-order, but essentially it's a clamshell that looks like a DS, but they don't have a second screen. So that bottom screen is just buttons. And it's almost as if I feel like Nintendo has something to where they won't touch.
They probably do.
So
even the ones that do have 2 screens, I noticed that it's like a back to front kind of flip thing they have to do different. Yeah.
And that's what 1X Sugar is doing. Like you can flip it to where it's one screen, and then you can make it 2 screens, but then you can have the small screen up top with the button where the controls are down. So you can have, and would it be an Android, you can like, oh, I have a YouTube video up here, and then I'm playing the game down here. So it's got to be something. As into why everybody's being real funny about it. But yeah, those are like the 2 or 3 videos that I plan to get out this week.
Okay. All right, Andre.
I'm just trying to get stuff out because I've been playing video. Look, between Xenoblade Chronicles X coming back out this week and playing Street Fighter 6, I have dedicated so much time to getting into games. I'm like, yeah, I haven't made any videos. I've recorded so much stuff, but haven't put it into a video. It's just like, I just gotta focus. I gotta have time to sit. Not have time. I gotta have focus.
Yeah, he was like, I got the time.
I got time because look, I am nearly 70 hours in on Street Fighter 6 just for the World Tour mode.
Okay.
Yeah, I played a lot of that World Tour.
And I know Xenoblade Chronicles is going to take way more time than that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to start being able to multitask, play the game, and do a video at the same time. I'm probably have to do that because I've hit a moment where I'm like, I don't want to not play my games, and if I'm focusing on making videos, I'm not playing my games.
There you
go.
Good point.
I need to play my games. Yep. I got thousands right now. Backlog, my backlog will out-survive me by 100,000 years. At this so I might as well start cutting into it some before my descendants have to try to play.
Yep.
But I'm gonna try to get out. I'm gonna try to at least get out 2 videos this week. I don't know what everything's gonna be, but I'm gonna try to get out 2. So
all right, cool. All right, Shadow.
So I have a combination of both Jack and Andre's problem. So I definitely have stuff in the pipe and working, editing currently. But again, the time thing, because backlog, and then I'm playing the game. Like, I had to make a hard stop to be on this podcast with Xenoblade Chronicles. So it's a thing, and you don't want to stop. Turns out the games are funny. You want to play them.
Yeah.
Like, like if I'm on social media, bro, that's like a second in between. Like, you might have caught me in the bathroom or something. I don't know. That's the only time you're really gonna see me there. Lately, the way things are going. So, if there's a video that I was working on, I wanted to go ahead and upload. I put that up, and then other than that, I don't know. I may upload footage at some point. I know eventually I need to check in and talk to my audience about this game, particularly since I'm a big fan of it and whatnot. And talk about the different things that I see as far as the gameplay stuff goes. But yeah, it's going to be rough. So I would say if you're a follower, like, you know what my output usually is. So
be patient.
Once or twice a quarter.
Yeah,
and go from there. And then I try to put out enough entertaining stuff that I can, and then check the channel too, because every now and then I do get a I feel froggy, and I put a post up there for you to interact with too. So just check those as well, and then you'll see me weekly here as much as possible on this podcast as well. It's just a lot easier to hop on here than to host my own. So subscribe to everybody here, and then go from there. Every once in a while, I'll jump on the Sandstorm podcast too. So just hit him with the shadow drop. That's how it is. Shadowcast comes when it comes. I don't know what to tell you. So that's all I got.
All right, I'm probably in the same boat, but I'm gonna try because I did pick up Bleach Rebirth of Souls. So
how is that?
I haven't played it yet.
Okay, because I'm hearing, I'm hearing
everybody.
The only positive I'm hearing from this game is, of course, some certain characters that got some bust out, but I'm not hearing positive.
I've heard more positive stuff. Like, people like the gameplay. They just don't like the people that I've seen complaining don't like arena fighters. So it's an arena fighter. So that's what that is, I think. But I've been interested to play this one out just because we don't get many Bleach games anyway. So
really don't.
And I am a Bleach fan. So I just haven't had a chance to play it yet because I've been playing Xenoblade. So I will be playing that. I do plan on picking up Assassin's Creed Shadows. I just haven't done it yet. So
I won't.
I do plan
many times.
I do like the story of Yasuke. So and I know I have read up about him as a person. So I know a lot of people been hating on that because of certain political stances. But in my
is
opinion,
it even political or is it something else? I don't know.
I have to say political. I have to say political because the reason why I say political is because they made this whole DEI thing political.
Yeah,
most people don't understand is this is a real person who was Nobunaga's friend and Nobunaga's retainer as far as his swords bearer, which means he did take place. He did stand by his side and he fought in battles. So yes, he did.
Ain't no coon gonna swing a sword.
Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those situations where you got people who just they don't like the fact that they put a black dude in there, and I'm like, bro, this happened. Like there's writings from it from like for 2 years because he was there for 2 years that we know of because there's writings about it. So I mean, that's why I want to pick it up. And so I do plan on picking it up. I just ain't picking it up. I ain't picked it up this week because Xenoblade and Bleach.
I mean, look, you wait long enough, it'll be $15. And
like it's Ubisoft. So it's Ubisoft. All I gotta do is just wait for a spring sale. I'll be good.
So for you though, with that, what if they say, all right, cool, April 2nd, it is coming to the Switch because IGN said it is because it came to Steam Deck. Oh my God. Do you pick it up? Do you pick it up on? Are you picking up on Switch?
I'm not double dipping. I don't. You're not? Okay. I don't double dip Ubisoft games. I don't double dip Ubisoft.
Smart man.
No.
I almost did. What I did. Child of Light.
Child of Light.
Child of Light. Yeah. I mean, well, Child of Light was 2014. Then that is the last time I double dipped Ubisoft game. That is right. That's a double dip Ubisoft game because I bought that on everything because I was like, I'm showing my support. So
really good game. Highly recommended for everybody watching right now.
And then Michael Lansing quit. So yeah, but that's all from me. Y'all know me. Once I do play them, there will be the initial video will be let's do this quietly so y'all can see it, and then I'll probably do a live stream later. So that's pretty much all I got. Thank you once again, everybody in chat. We appreciate you. We'll see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because y'all know what's gonna happen that Wednesday. So y'all have a good one. Hope y'all have a good week out there, and we'll catch y'all next Sunday. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.